just kind of need to start making some of the details pop, like the hair. I'm gonna come in with a medium gray, and then I'm gonna come in with lighter colors after that. Looks like I missed a couple spots during the cleaning of the model, so clear that off real quick. Let's see. Looks like it's relatively good, very clean print, so I don't need to clean it up too much. So we can go ahead and get in with the base colors. So we're going to be using a white. We're going to be using a light gray. And a neutral gray for just a little extra. And then we'll have a black in there in case I need to cover something back up. Alrighty. So since we're dry brushing, we're not going to need water. So we can just drop it straight onto the table. Probably going to need more than that, actually. Alrighty, got the neutral gray. Just in case. Alrighty, so let's start off with the darkest gray real quick. And I'm just going to be using this to kind of like touch up the lightest parts of the model and kind of like bring any of the details in. This one I'm going to go a little extra with because we kind of need to cover the entire model. This is going to be an underlayer to bring out the color in a darker sense, so when I come back, it'll just make everything lighter. And I'll be doing sort of a zenith highlight towards the end, which is where you make it look like the light is coming from a specific angle. And that will make it feel more real. Like the sun's actually shining down. Let's get a little bit bigger brush. It's taking a second. Alrighty. That's good. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the mat itself and seeing how much is coming off to determine how much I have on my brush. That allows me to have a little bit more control over what I'm doing. And one of the great things about dry brushing is there's a very, very low dry time, so you really don't even have to wait. You can kind of go right into the next part of the dry brush. Kind of looking it over. Probably gonna make this metallic, so making it a little bit brighter. Well, metallic for the... No, that's a dowel rod actually. That's not gonna be metallic. I might do the handle just to make it pop. So I want to be careful down in here because I want this to stay black. Oh, I just realized I'm way off the camera. Whoops. Hold on a second. Still getting used to. Let's move that up a bit. Hold on, I'm getting my thing up so I can actually see. Okay. That's gonna make more sense. I didn't have the camera actually up, so the only way I could see where I was at is with a 45-second delay. That was not practical. We're just working out the kinks. That's way better. Alright, sorry for the shake. Alright, it should focus. Okay. That's a lot better. Alrighty. Now I can actually see. Y'all can see. Sorry about that nonsense. I have found ways to mess up dry brushing. What do you mean? And I'm not going to go underneath because I want that to be a shadow. You can kind of see it already kind of appearing, how it looks like there's even a darker shadow in there. When we start getting to the end effects, that's going to be amazing for our detail. So I'm looking forward to that. Keep hitting this thing right there. Alrighty. Okay. Like I said, this is only the first pass over, so I'm going to be coming in with lighter colors and doing less and less. I generally do a pretty much a 90% with this light gray, kind of getting some of the details, and then I come back with a lighter and lighter one at 60% for the what is it, the light gray, and then I'm going to be doing like 40 or less of the white. Okay, that's good enough. I don't think I need anything else on here. I kind of like that natural like dark spot right there. It looks like the light's coming down from here and providing shadow. So I think I'm just not going to try to get in there. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. No, these aren't for dry brushing necessarily. These are just normal paints. They're normal acrylics. Dry brushing is just the technique I'm using. It's not like there are specific paints in some of the collections I have, but I don't. This isn't a dry brush specific paint here. Okay. All right, let's go to a lighter one. Oh yeah, I already poured them. Alrighty. So this one, like I said, I'm going to be doing a little less. Actually, I should probably get most of that off. And this is going to start really showing what's happening here with the details. It's going to start looking more and more like all the shadows just automatically just falling into place. And you always brush down, and the reason why is because light comes down. If you brush up, it's like shining a flashlight under your chin. It's just gonna look weird, and people are gonna be confused. But it might make your model look like they're like happy, but like in a really creepy way, because it'll bring the light up. So, I don't know, maybe you could do it on the face. We might test that later. Thinking about it now, that might be kind of funny. Alrighty. Get all this top part. Oh yeah, over here. Top of her head a little bit more, bring the light out a little bit. The knees and the feet. All right, a lot better. Get the top of that. Need to do the handle over on this side a little bit more. I definitely could use more light. I'll put a little extra right there. That's fine. Alright, and again, I'm not going to be doing inside here because inside here is supposed to remain dark. Alrighty. And now this... Actually, I should probably wash this brush out real quick. And I use a microfiber cloth to dry my brushes just because they're nice and easy and reuse, and you don't have to worry about wasting paper towels. And also with dry brushing, the paper towel particles will get in your brush and then you might get a chunky effect, which is not what you want. Alrighty. Alright, so this one's gonna be the least amount. And I usually like to test my hand just to see how it lights up. It's kind of like a nice judge of, you know, how it's gonna look when you put it down. And now this, I'm gonna be doing the least amount of coverage, only catching where the light's gonna be hitting the most. So I'm gonna leave these cracks to kind of like naturally fall into the background. I am gonna get her hands because she's got some cool hands. And when we start adding color to that, I wanna make sure that stands out. Let's get this little outside. That looks right. And you're kind of just looking from like a specific angle and lighting it that way. So I'm imagining the light coming down from right here. So I'm just making sure that everything that the light would be able to see would actually light up. We'll do this way too, just to bring some more vibrance in, because there's a lot of really, really good details here, and I want to make sure they stand out. I just keep seeing more and more stuff that I'm going to get excited to get work in later. I'm going to do this ridge a little lighter right here. The reason why is because I'm imagining that I'm going to make this look like it's wet around the edges, because she's crawling out of a well. So a lot of this is going to be probably a little brighter right here. I'm going to come and make some water effects towards the end, so this can be a little brighter underneath here. Make it a little easier for myself later. Get a little bit inside there. Alrighty, so we're almost ready to start throwing down some colors. Alrighty. I want to bring that up a little bit more. And I do want to be careful. I don't want to put too many layers on, because at this point it'll take out a lot of the detail if I'm not careful. Oh wow, her arm's all cracked looking. That's nice. See, I didn't even notice that until I put more paint on there. It makes me want to see what other details I can get out of her legs. Interesting. Get those rocks at the bottom. I don't want those to get hidden. There's a lot of good detail there too. Break up the environment a bit. I have a couple tufts of grass. I might even try to slip those into the side here. There's a couple spots where I could see, like, especially like right here. Alrighty. Alright, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna move into actually putting color on her. Actually, I missed this spot right here. There we go. Alright, that's better. So now I'm gonna get into color. save the hair for last, just in case I come up with some ideas I want to do. I guess the well itself, that would probably be a good start. So I'm looking at it, and this definitely is a stone material on the side as well. I was thinking it was wood at first because of some of the way it was designed, the markings, but now that I'm looking closer at it, it's 100% stone. So, stone, thankfully, is pretty easy because most of the work is already done for us. But I would like them to be a little different than just boring gray. So I'm looking at what I have, and I could make them a little brown, possibly. Let's see. No. You know what? We're just gonna add a really faint blue. That'll provide a good effect. I'm gonna see how this looks first. Because, actually we'll leave that right there. I have not used this one yet. So, I use my dry palette to kind of test colors. It makes it easier, especially with the kind of colors I use, which are more of a stain. They're speed paints, but I can test it by looking at it like that. And I do like that. I'm not sure if I want to make it that dark though. I kind of want to go a little lighter. So we're gonna try this blue right here. Actually, I can just drop it right there. That's definitely more of what I'm going for. So, we're going to do the music's loud? Okay. Alrighty. Let me know if it needs to go down more. How you doing, Mike? How's that printer working? All right. Got a new paint here ready. We're gonna go ahead and start getting this stone. And I could probably come in here with actually a bigger brush. There's a lot to paint here, so probably gonna need a lot more. It's taking a break this week. You tired of the fumes? That's good that you got your situation figured out. I'm gonna have to figure that out when I actually start doing that. Let's get this off. All right. Super faint, which is good. I'm just gonna give it a little once over. Oh man, that's where I'm at right now. I have a whole, what is it, 5-tiered bookshelf that I need to go through. Too much. And this thing's eating paint. Still not. Oh yeah. There we go. Definitely need a lot more paint. It's kind of hard to see what it's actually doing, but it's just adding a very, very slightly blue tint to it, because I thought it would look better than just being a boring gray stone white. And her feet can be touched a little bit. I'm just trying to be careful not to get the rest of the stuff. The reason why is because when I come over with the darker blue, you're not even going to be able to tell. In fact, when I start adding a little bit of the water in there, it's going to work even better. Alrighty. Perfect. We're going to come in and do the rope next, I think. I want to get that knocked out since that's out of the way. I want to figure out what kind of tan I'm going to use, because I'm going to come and do the dowel of the actual pulley mechanism. A dark color. A very dark wood. What, cat? Dragon is demanding attention. Alrighty. So we got a dark wood color. That's going to be an easy pick for that dowel rod. And then there isn't really like... I can use bony matter, but I kind of want to use that for the skulls. I got this really light tan. I think I'm going to combine this sand tone with a wash later. And I think that's going to provide a very good effect. Because I have a dark wash, and it's a nice brown. And I think that'll provide the effect I'm looking for. So let's just go ahead and jump right into doing that. We're actually getting to a little bit more of the detail work, so I have to be a little bit more careful. So we're going to start with the dark first. This is going to go in the recesses, and so it's going to be a little bit easier to paint. Alright. And I want to be careful because, actually funny enough, learned recently, you don't want the paint to go past about, I would say about halfway. And the reason why is because if it gets into this little metal part in here, the fuller, it will mess up your bristles and you'll no longer have sharp tips like this. I don't even know if that'll catch. You'll have sharp tips like this. And they're nice to have for making sure that you don't paint all over the place. So this, I'm kind of just going to slap it on. I'm not really worried about being super detailed. I just want to get the color on there. And come back for those ropes afterwards. And I'm going to come back through here with a probably a very dark brown or probably even a black acrylic paint. And I'm going to make wood lines later. I'm just thinking about it right now because I'm seeing how the brown touches this and it just looks really good. So, and I don't really have to worry about too much underneath, but I do want it to look a little brown. So we're just going to get that. And I really got to make sure I get into these cracks. There's a couple splits right here. I don't want to miss them because those definitely are going to add a lot more detail at the end. And I did actually get there, but that's fine because it's underneath. So I'm not going to have to even worry about that. You're not going to see that later. And plus, you got to understand these models, while I'm putting all this detail in it, I really don't have to, because this thing is going to be seen from about 3 or 4 feet away. And as you can imagine, you don't see anything from that distance. So that's what makes this even more special, because you're going to put all this time into something that people aren't even going to look at. It's beautiful. But you know, it's like you have a little secret with the model. You're like, I know you look good. Nobody else needs to know. Until you pick it up and you're like, doesn't this look really good? And then you start fishing for compliments. And they're like, yeah, that looks really good. You're like, thank you. Thank you for saying something. But I didn't need you to say anything. It's like one of those situations. All right, so the dowel is almost completely done. I think that's what it's called, a dowel. Not 100% sure. All right, so we got this little spot out here too. That's probably wood. It looks like wood. Yeah, that little split looks like wood. That doesn't look like wood. We're gonna go ahead and paint this brown too. Taking a leap of faith. And sometimes you run into stuff and you're just like, I have no idea what that thing is. And you just have to guess. Or you like, just paint it to look like something else. There's so many times where I've had someone's like outfit have like a bunch of details on it, and then you see like some of them and they just kind of look blurred and you're like, what is that? I don't know. Thankfully the models are getting better quality, so you don't have to worry about guesswork as much, but it still happens. Especially when you're painting stuff like I do, like board game stuff. Alrighty. Alrighty, I think I pretty much got everything. Oh wait, I'm gonna save that because I don't know what I want to do with that yet. I kind of envision the handle being a little bit lighter, or even maybe like this. This kind of looks like I might be able to get away with making it look like iron. So I'm thinking I like the idea of this being like a really heavy iron. I think I can roll with the creepiness on that because I'm thinking about putting vines down the side as well, and doing some rust effects. Some like bright orange rust in there. So I think I have to go with iron. But this right here can be brown. And that's it. Nothing else. Get a little bit of my paint off, and I use my thumb because it's just accessible. But I use it as a sort of dry palette as well. Pretty much everything's a dry palette, honestly. OS. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and move on to the rope. Now the rope, like I said, I'm going to be starting with a howling sand. Oop. The howling sand always makes me laugh because it's like a gross yellow look. And when you first pour it out, it looks like there's streaks in there. And I'm like, man, did I grab the right color? And it's always confusing. So I'm just pulling this out right now because I kind of want to just do the whole effect immediately. So that way you can see what I'm talking about. Usually I do that at the end, but I like to finish up thoughts so that they're easier to see. Alrighty. And this can definitely go a little heavier. The reason why is because I have a lot of room to add shadowing effects. And with how light I made this top part, it's going to be really easy to darken it up. And this is a staining sort of paint. It's like looking through the color glass of whatever it is. Oh man, I forgot about the bucket. I'm gonna have to paint that brown as well. And I imagine this having some like moss or something around there. Because the bucket's definitely gonna be rusted with the irons there. It has to be. I can't see it any other way. Yeah, we're gonna get in here. Okay. Just gonna give it a quick finish up top, and then we'll be able to actually move on to... Oh, and I got a little bit there, but that's okay. I'm just gonna come in with a dark shade at the end anyways. And it's gonna cover it all up. And if we're constantly trying to fix every little mistake like that, we'll be here all day. Alrighty. Yeah, that's starting to give a nice effect. Alrighty. Yep. I'm liking that. Alright. We actually probably should wait for that to dry a little bit more, because if it... Yeah, that's still wet. Because if it bleeds this paint, it's not going to provide as sharp of a shade. And I do want a little bit of sharpness up here, seeing as it's going to be the top, like, center stage. Granted, she's center stage for sure, but this is the backdrop. Alright. Cool. Alright, what did I do next? Because I need to wait for this to dry. So I guess we can hop over to start making this look like rusty iron. Might as well while I'm here. Alright. So to make a rusty iron look, I typically start with a dark metallic. And I'm looking for a steel or this broadsword silver. I think that'll give me a nice effect. Let's just get this on here real quick. I can always make it darker, thankfully. And I have some weathering texture as well. This is always fun when I get to use it. I kind of am addicted to this. It adds a nice rusty, gritty effect to it. Alrighty. I just get excited for rust. It's one of my favorite things to paint. Actually, we probably should put white on that. So this is how you can fix problems, because I got some brown there and I don't want that to ruin what I have going on. So we're going to take our white and let's do a light gray. Actually, no, let's do it darker, because I can always do between. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this right there. Let's get a little bit more. I'm going to drop this right here. Let's get this organized a little better. I'm making a mess. Okay. So we're going to go back to dry brushing. I'm going to fix that with a little bit of dark gray to start, because I want the dark gray to be underneath. And I really like the texture, so I'm going very, very, very light, because I don't want to mess up what I have here. Okay, so that's mostly done. I'm just gonna come in now with a, I need to dry this off more. Light color. And this one I want to pretty much completely be gone. And the reason why is because I'm gonna tap it to give it its detail. And it kind of adds, put a little too much there, a texture in itself. And that's going to look a lot better when I come in with these silver. Okay. Let's get that silver now. Just want to make sure that's actually the silver. Okay, it is. I was like, I forgot where I put it. Got distracted doing other stuff. Alrighty. I get a lot of my rust inspiration from Silent Hill. I like the dark, dirty looking rust. It's gonna look really clean for a while because, funny enough, I find it's easier to make it very crisp and clean and then come back and make it look weathered. Because you gotta build the layers. I can't get a satisfying result unless if I do that. And I don't know if it actually matters, but that's what works for me. It's easier to envision it as well. I need to still figure out what that handle's gonna be. Well, we'll come back to that later, because I don't know what I want it to be yet. I'm thinking like a gold, but gold doesn't sound right. A copper or a brass handle would be pretty cool. It would add some layer. I would rather not use a similar color to what's around it. That's the big thing. Actually, you know what? Let's do some copper, because with copper, I can come in and do some oxidizing of the metal. And I think that would look really good right here. Kind of add a little bit of a teal. The well itself is going to be... I'm going to probably add some moss in there. There's no moss here, but it's easy to add moss. So I'm definitely going to come in here and add moss around here. Yeah. We're doing copper. I'm sold. Okay, copper, copper, copper. And copper is my favorite metal because you can make it look crazy. It's a very bright and vibrant green. Okay, so this is the copper. And I want this to be a lighter coat, because I want to see the detail underneath. And I'm just going to leave those little spots. I'm going to come in and make this thing look all kinds of crazy. So anything like that, I will just treat as a scratch or a surface mark. And that's where the little mistakes you made, you see them later and you're like, you know what, let's just not worry about that. Let's just turn that into something else. Because you think about like cleaning the brush and you think about swapping the paints and you're like, you know what, that doesn't sound as appealing to fix. I think we'll just make it something else. And it's way easier that way. So I am actually gonna go and get me a really good copper. There we go. Because this is very dull. You can barely see this copper. My camera keeps refocusing, sorry. But this is what I want. There we go. Now it's sub-focused. So, way better than whatever this nonsense is. So this copper is not gonna work as good. Good to know. Alrighty. And I'm not too worried about it drying completely because I'm gonna be more or less combining it anyways in a spectrum of the colors around this. Let's use this trash brush. This is actually a dry brushing brush, but I did not take care of it. So now I use it for metals or very detailed dry brushing, since it's my smallest brush for dry brushing. But it helps with adding effects. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, let's do that. Much better. That looks 10 times better. I am happy with that. And it's gonna be fun to make it gross. All right, now we're gonna come in with that wash and make that rope get some more detail. Working from a top to bottom sort of deal here. Alright, I do want to be careful with this because if too much seeps into there, it might ruin the effect. Because this is a little bit of a darker wash. But I should be able to come through and wipe it off if I need to. As long as I'm quick. Oh, I like it. It's almost kind of turning it green a little bit. Interesting. That tan. Combining with that. Is that the same thing? Oh, wow. That is a red. Interesting. I'm glad I didn't put that on there. I don't know where that paint came from. This is what happens when you have too many paints in front of you. And you are a messy painter. I am not as messy as I am in the kitchen, though. Because I have to pull out everything and make sure I have it all in front of me before I even start. There we go. And definitely wanted to get these cracks here so that... Because essentially what this does is it sits into the recesses and it adds a depth. So pretty much what you see is what you get with this. Once it starts going on, you're going to see how it's going to rest into the grooves of the rope. And then it's going to dry like that. I do like the richness. I think we might add a little bit more. This needs more. Oop, got some on the side right there. Okay. It's looking good. Man, I need to get like a little stand here or something so I can remember to put it in that same spot. I keep bringing it off to the side. Being stingy. This cloth probably doesn't help. There we go. What next? What next? Let's get that bucket so I don't forget it again. I keep forgetting the bucket. Where's the brown? There we go. I'm just gonna make a new one each time and put it closest to me. That's the one bad thing. I like this palette because it's easy to use. But it's hard to see what color you're using without dipping it. I mean, I guess I could paint up here. That probably would be easier. Learning new things. Now, should I make this metal? I think so. I think I'm gonna make all that edging metal. And this is nice because the wood effects are already there for me. I don't even have to worry about that. So what it's doing down here, I'm pretty much gonna bring this same effect up top because I like to do wood effects. You just kind of create the grooves. Alrighty, that's good. Now we're gonna jump over and start painting that rim immediately. Because I don't want to wait. I keep putting too much paint, so we're going to put less paint that time. How about that? And I do want to be a little bit more detailed with this, so I grabbed my... What is this, a number 2? Yeah. Grab my number 2. Because I would rather knock this out in one go. There we go. Uh-oh. Messed up a little right there, but it's in the crack, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to be coming back with more brown anyways, so I can fix it at that point. There's something satisfying about iron bands and wooden pails. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna come back in with the brown immediately. And then we'll get started on the... Actually, no, I need to do the upper. That's right. So I'm gonna go back and touch up this one up here so that I can actually come and finish it up in a second. Because I'm excited to do some rust effects on this. And I don't want to wait anymore. That's good to know. I'm gonna have to have a stand or something. I definitely need a platform. Maybe that's trying to focus on these as well. That's probably not helpful. It's probably picking up words. Dude, I eventually want to do custom painted. That sounds like fun. Doing color schemes and stuff like that. Because I have my ideas and I paint the ideas that my mind outputs, but I don't have other people's ideas. So it's kind of interesting to hear them. What is my solution? I wonder if this will help. If I don't pick it up, we'll be alright. And as long as I stay within this range. Yeah, well, that's a little blurry, but it's because my hand's there. There we go. Good to know. Sweet. Alright, this should fix the problem. I just gotta stay in this zone right here. The problem is I have all this stuff in the way. I mean, you've seen my setup. I have all this stuff in the way, so I'm like trying to reach around it off to the side. Here, actually, I can just back up a little bit. So I'm like having to reach around this nonsense. So, yeah. We'll eventually figure out something better, but this works for now. Alrighty, back to the bucket? Yeah, the bucket. I need a brown. There we go. It's a little frustrating, but honestly, it's not too bad. Because the one thing about painting that's kind of funny is like, well, anybody that's held a model and actually sat and painted would instantly understand. But after about 10 seconds, nothing else exists. Only what you're looking at. So it's really easy to get kind of lost in it. I actually end up going through like little stories in my head the entire time I'm sitting here looking at like the skull. I'm like, oh, how'd that skull get there? Is that somebody that tried to maybe brush her hair or something and then died because her hair is so long? Like, you never know. It could be anything. But I like that. And that's probably what happened. And I just use anything I have as a surface. It doesn't really matter. Takes just a little bit of alcohol and water, and it cleans up very quick. Just want to fix up this bucket real quick before I move on. There's a couple spots down in this crack right here. Actually, I'm gonna get that light a little brighter. Yeah. That's good right there. I can actually see now. If that's too bright, let me know. But it was getting a little dark in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to start painting. What do I want to paint? Her outfit. What color should this dress thing be? I'm thinking like a white, but I don't know. A white would be kind of cool because I could make it look like it was a little see-through. That's what the original, like see-through in the sense of like you can see her skin through it, like, because it's wet. I think that would be nice. But, because she's got these holes right here. These are definitely going to be, like, injuries of a sort. With her skin, I'm thinking, like I said before, I think a dark, a bluish, like a sickly blue. I think a runic gray is going to be a little too... White would be super dirty at this point. Yeah. Nah, that's true. It is true. So... why don't we make it dirty? So, to make it dirty, we first have to get the natural color, which I think we could just do a... well, if it's white... I don't want it to be tan, because if it's tan, it's going to be the same color as this, and I'd really rather not have multiple of the same color. Oh wait, I already have some of this. I found it over here. So I think I'm going to do the really light tan. Let's just see what it looks like. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. This used to be white, okay? Just think about how it used to be white. I need to get this in a better spot. I can't dip it. There we go. Much better. She is pure. Look at her. She was just, I don't know, probably a princess of some sort, I'm sure. And she was trying to figure out the secrets to skincare techniques. And she thought that if she jumped into a well and waited for a couple of years, that she would emerge and have beautiful skin. Hey, I can't help myself because I love to add as much detail in the gross areas as possible. I cannot stop that. That's looking really, really good. I really like this howling sand. It's so versatile. That's her legs sticking up. Yeah, we're just gonna... Ooh. That looks kind of intense in there. Man, I think I kind of want to wait on that one a little bit. Make it look sore of some... like there's sores in there. Oh, I got a little too much in there. I can always come back and clean up the recesses, but I would rather not make myself have to do more work than I have to. I like making minimal amount of work, but I do like making work. It's kind of like a nod to yourself. You get to that part and you're like, oh yeah, I remember you. Dang it. I have to fix you now. Because I left you. And then it keeps coming back. It's like, what are those things called? Oh yeah, ex-girlfriends. They just keep coming back. It looks good. Alrighty. Go with the white now. I do want to add a little bit of light color to it. So we're going to do a little dry brushing of that. That was a little too much white. We don't want that much. That is a lot. I'm gonna have to do it on this paper right here. I just want to bring the color up a little bit because I'm about to darken it in spots. Oh, it's a little wet back there. See, a little wet. Oh man, she's got a nice hunchback back here too. I might even, because I was thinking about doing her skin like a kind of a light blue. And like she's been soaking, and there's gonna be patches of green, probably dark purple for like bruising. Definitely like where her joints are and stuff. I'm gonna make them more like reddened and like not having a good time. Her arm right here has a nice texture to it, so I'm probably gonna make that look a little blistery. My favorite texture. Alrighty. Done. And I just wanted to bring that white back up because I'm about to make it dark again. And I think we're gonna cheat and use it. No, we're not gonna cheat. We're gonna muddy it up. I was gonna use a wash similarly to the rope on her outfit, but I didn't want to use the same technique because I want to have different results. So this is going to sit in the recesses of where I think dirt should be. So this is already kind of dark and it's kind of inspiring me to color there a little bit. Oh, I forgot which paint. I think it's this one. And this thing gets confusing. Add a couple paints and then you're lost. And this is a rich, like kind of a brown color. And the trick to add depth is to add multiples of the same color around the same, like the spectrum, like browns. Like I used 3 different browns. And that's what the dry brushing kind of does for you, but not completely. Definitely all this under part, probably around her neck. I imagine like the chafing from the outfit probably caused it to gunk up a little bit more around there. I might even come back and do like a really light green, like almost like there's like maggots in there. Like that little crack right there. That's looking good. I like that. Gotta definitely stick it all up in there. Dude. It just makes me wonder, like, you imagine her hair, like, imagine her armpits. You can't really see, but, like, I mean, I doubt they're... I doubt they're like this, with no hair. These are the questions I ask myself. Because at the end, I always do something kind of hidden, so that somebody that picks it up and really looks at it gets to find a little treasure. And it's usually something really funny. Like, I painted a bunch of wolves, and it was one of my first models. And I really wanted it to be unique and stand out, and I just started going into all the details of the teeth, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna give them you know, plaque on their teeth and stuff, and I'm gonna really like get into the details of that. And you know, I'm even gonna do some like black spots in their mouth and like you know, canines have, and it's gonna be crazy. And then you turn the dog around and it's like, what is this pink dot back here? Wait a minute, Corey, did you draw this or this dog an asshole? I was like, well, of course I did. It's realistic. Why is it brown? Because it's dead. Forgot who I had that conversation with. But it makes me laugh every time I think about it. Gotta pay attention to the details. I think I'm gonna do the bottoms of these as well. The reason why is because I'm gonna come back and goop those up anyways. So having a little understain is only gonna help me later. Because when you stain stuff, you come back, and if the colors aren't exactly the same setup, you might have different results in different spots when you start adding in some of the technical details. And we want it to look the same throughout. There's a couple spots in there. I'm gonna save that for later because I need to do her skin soon. So I'm gonna get started on that right now. Later, Wes. So what do we think? Do we like blue, like a sickly pallid blue? Or would we like more of a purple? I do like the idea of both. We got this runic gray, and how this would look. That doesn't work as well on this teal. Is this dry? It's not. This is almost too light. Yeah. Well, we can always start with that and then go elsewhere. Purple? I was thinking purple blue, so the idea is I'm doing a light blue, and then the recesses I was going to do a dark blue and purple. Purple bruising. So I really want to have a wide range in my blue, so I want her skin to be lighter so I can really make the effects on the skin itself show more. So I do like you know what? I am actually going to do it blue, and then I'm going to come in with a purple tone, and what that's going to do is it's going to give it a wash effect, much like I did with this, but it's going to be with purple. And I'm going to do it very lightly so that I don't color it too much. But I do want this to be on there pretty good, because this is going to be the primary color. Excited for these hands too. She's got some nice claws. That's gonna be fun. We actually need more paint than that. This is going too slow. Let's use this dry brush. Where'd it go? We're gonna need more. Still getting used to the amounts of paint I need to use. I'm used to painting super tiny figures, like only as big as her hair, and I'm painting all this, so I'm like grabbing the wrong amounts of paint. get it on there, though. I gotta make sure I get her face, too. Man, she's in a crazy little pose here. We need more paint. As long as I work kind of fast, I can pull this paint off and move it around. Ooh. I gotta get up in here. It's not as much as you're gonna be able to see it. It's just that even in the dark, it's gonna provide a hue color when you look in there. And if anybody looks in there, they're gonna see that it's not blue. Especially if you got somebody coming in and looking at your models with a flashlight. I'm the person that looks at my models with a flashlight. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. That's too small of an area. I'm trying to get her neck. I started reaching in there and I just imagined having to repaint that neck line right there. And I had a whole lot of no thank you pop up into my head. I was about to have to do a lot of work. Need more blue. Better. Well, might as well get up here again. I can start patting it on a little bit because I don't want to disturb the paint underneath. Because while the model dries pretty fast and I can kind of move from layer to layer to layer, it's not perfect. There is a chance to smear it. And if you smear it, you'll lose a lot of the detail. So I want to be careful. And these are pretty soft bristles as well, so they're not scratching the model and pulling the paint up. I need to get a detail brush. Let's get this one. This one's a long one and very soft as well. But the great thing about it being so long is it can keep a lot of paint in there. This is one of my favorite speed paint brushes to use because since the bristles are so soft, it's almost impossible to get it to spread. Oh, I got some brown there. Nice. We'll clean that up in a second. Got some white there too, I was noticing. I think her skin's mostly coated. It's a little darker than I was expecting, but I think I'm gonna come back with a white. Actually, you know what? I can dry brush it with a very light blue, and I think that'll give me the effect I need. Yeah, no, I really want to get started on it, but the most exciting parts for me is the final weathering effects, like the detail work itself in getting everything to look as realistic as possible. So the entire model, cat, this is my cable, please stop touching it. Alrighty. Let's get a really light blue. And I don't think I have a blue light enough for my purposes. I gotta shake this. Oh my goodness. Oh. No, that's sealed. Sealed with paint. I gotta open this up real quick. dragon's sitting by my monitor over there, and she is swatting at my cable. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. It's open now. Alrighty, that's what we want. So now, I'm gonna very lightly come with a white, and I'm going to dry brush it with this blue as well. And that will give me a, I think the skin tone I'm going for. These colors from the speed paints, they tint it, but I'm wanting it to be more like a surface color. Let's do the white first because it'll show up better. I need to get more off. I'm trying to be very careful because I should wait, but I don't feel like waiting. So I'm just gonna try not to disturb the wet paint. Like on her knee right here. Oh, I'm way high, whoops. Like on her knee right here, she's got some wet spots. And we don't want to touch that. Oh, definitely need to make sure I get that arm. I don't think I got that at all last time. We'll make it lighter so that I can make it more colored in the dark. Perfect. And now she's got that undertone of blue, which is gonna look really great. One of my favorite techniques, I gotta say, is dry brushing. Man, this is kind of a weak paint. That's good. I hope, hold on, I need to clean this brush. I think I need to shake it more. Let's try that now. Alright, let's see if I can get this. That is definitely the blue I'm looking for. Alrighty. Now that works. That's a totally different color. Look how bad that was. It just needed to be shook. Alrighty. This should be a very, very great effect. We need a lot less. Oh, I'm off the camera again, I keep forgetting. Covered up a little detail there. I'm gonna come back and make the detail come back with some dry brushing later. It's a little wet. I'm just gonna clean that up right now. And if you dry it off by pressing it in, you pull up the paint in the pattern you're going for as well, if you want the texture pattern. And you don't have to worry about it sticking to it, really, because microfiber is pretty good at keeping its shape. All right, let's fix that now because it's bothering me. Get the white again. And we're gonna get that gray. Forgot I'm supposed to do a dark color first. I was wondering why that wasn't looking right instantly. Alrighty, that looks way better. Now we're going to come in with the white, and I do want to get more of a stipple effect with my brush. Okay, there we go. Good enough. And this is just to add a little bit of texture to it because I lost some. Probably add some texture here too. There we go. So much better. Probably use some here too. And sometimes I notice, at least with myself, it's good to come back and do some more dry brushing. Especially if you notice details you may not have noticed before. Like there's these cracks here that are kind of nice. Kind of want to hit the edge of them a little bit. There we go. Bringing out these cracks because I want them to be visible from a distance. It's kind of like the, that's a little much. Like the actor effect where they do exaggerated makeup. If you want something to stand out, you gotta exaggerate it a little bit. You don't want to do it with everything though, because if the entire model looks exaggerated, it looks like it's really high saturation, which can make it look very goofy. And you don't want that. Unless you do. And then that's how you do it. That's the secret to it. You just exaggerate all the colors, paint outside the lines a bit. And these lighter spots, like if they look bad later, which, you know, I'm just kind of like randomly shading where I imagine light picking up or details that I want to make stand out, come to my eye. But I can always make them darker later. Let's make the tops of these really. There we go. So much better. And that's a great blue. I don't know if you can... Oh, I'm turning it off and on. Whoops. There we go. I'll be able to see it a little bit better in that light. It's kind of hard with this blue thing right here. Yeah, there we go. Now you can actually see it. That's just a nice... Almost... It looks like a baby blue. But it makes her look kind of... creepy. Like she's a spectral ghost of some sort. Got some paint on here. Some dried paint. Alright. I'm thinking black for the hair now. Because I want to do those skulls soon. So let's use the color I almost never use. Grim black. We're probably going to need a lot of this. Because she has a lot of hair. Yeah, I'm definitely happy with where it's going so far. Time to get some black on here. Oh, I gotta be careful with her face. Oop. Lost my grip. All right, get the top of here. Oh, I need to get her neck again. I forgot I didn't actually do it with the dry brush. I gotta fix that now while I'm thinking about it. I don't want to see that later. There we go. I was actually scared because it looked like I put it on a lot. And thankfully, it turned out just right. Oh, I got her dress a little bit. That's fine. Let's get the side of her neck a little bit. She's got some good details there. She looks freaking ripped. It's like wiry. It's like cordy. Definitely gonna come back with a detailed brush and get some purple action going in there. I'm gonna make that brighter so that I remember it. Because if it was darker, it would fall to the recesses. All right, I'm also gonna come in and do some of her skin inside here now while I'm thinking about it. Because I need to get this to dry so I can come in with the really nasty colors later, like the purple. I went a little heavy on that one. There we go. Had a little too much paint there. There's some good details in here too. Need less paint. There we go. Just a quick little touch. I lost a little bit of detail in there from my slip up, but that's fine. I will make detail later. I can probably get up in here a little bit too, just to give some more blue, especially those top portions. And since I was holding it upside down, I was painting the wrong way. Of course. So, it looks a little weird. But it's fine. She's a monster. Monsters are supposed to look weird. Just getting the front of her legs, kind of bringing out her toes again. I lost a little bit of texture when I came through with my watercolors, or not watercolors, speed paints. Kind of getting her knuckles a little bit, bringing out the different fingers. Just doing kind of a pass. Whenever I actually come and work on our hands later, I'm gonna give them all the attention they deserve, but I'm just highlighting some stuff while I'm thinking about it. Kind of just touching the edges right now, giving it some definition, bringing out her, like she's got this little crack in her wrist right here. See? You just paint over it, then you can't even see it anymore. Whoops! So instead, I'm going to paint that right there. Paint that right there. And it looks like it has the detail that I just got rid of. So perfect. Hey, you can't even tell. It looks fine. Looks fine. Whenever I come in with my blacks later, I will be able to darken the shadows like that and create lines. I like doing line work at the end to add all the little details, like cracks on the leather and stuff. This needs to get colored too. There we go. I accidentally didn't get a couple spots on her hand as well, so I'm glad I saw it now. Gotta get higher up her arm as well. When I was using that bigger brush, I wasn't able to get all the way in there, so... But now I can. Looks like I got a little paint speck in there. I feel like that same one keeps coming back. He's like, please don't forget me. Put me on there too. We've got this hard shadow right here. Yeah, right there. I need to break that up a little bit. That is way too crisp and doesn't make any sense with where it's at. So we're gonna make it make more sense. I need more runic gray. Actually, no, we're using this one. Okay, got the blue. We're gonna fix this right here. So it looks like there's a little crack right in there. So I'm going to just kind of tap inside here with a little bit of the color, just to kind of bring it that way. Just just give it a little detail. That's all we're trying to do. And for this, I'm just trying to break it up a little bit. I'm also I'm looking at her body that's near it, kind of trying to follow the way it curves to provide a shadow that looks convincing. It won't be perfect because I'm not amazing at shadows, but I can pretend. But shadows are fun, especially when you learn new things. I gotta just look for all the breakups. There's still a little runic gray poking underneath in a few spots as well that I need to pull out. I accidentally got in there, but I don't hate it. I actually like it a lot. Her knees need to be the brightest because they're highest up, and the light is hitting there at those tops. I will actually come through with a white at the end to add a little bit of a shine to a lot of this. But I like the idea of it being shadowed that way. Like, it looks like this is shadowed from the light, but that's just kind of like how I painted it, or the lack thereof, and it's cool. I do like it. Okay, I think we're pretty much done with her skin for now. I think we should go back to her hair. I really want to get those skulls with some browns and yellows on it as well. Dude, dry brushing is my favorite thing to do, period. I love it. Recommendation, let's see. Oh, really? Okay. It's picking it up through, I'm using Spotify. It's an application capture. Application. Yeah, so I'm not sure how I can get it adjusted, but I'll have to look into that next time. Okay. Get little fuzzies on there. Little dragon hairs. Well, that's pretty much done with the skin. I don't see any other spots that need to be done. So yeah, hair. Let's go back to this bad boy. My number 2 is my workhorse, because you can get detailed stuff done or you can get the broad strokes done all in one brush, which is really helpful. I need more black. trying to layer it on right now. Because I'm going to come through with lighter colors and kind of reverse it. I gotta come get her face too. With the blue. But I'll do that after the skulls. Because I really want to get those skulls colored. Like our little decorations in her beard. What if this was a beard? But it's not. It's hair. But it would be cool if it was a beard. Now I feel like I need to make a model later on that has a beard that's like this. Have a reappearance. I mean, technically, if she had a boyfriend and you killed her, he might come to try to take revenge. So, I smell a Valentine's Day special. Deep mahogany brown. I thought about doing a sharp white highlight. Mahogany would look good, but I try to be careful with reds. Like, I want to do that because I think it would look really good, but I try to be careful with reds because I don't want to take away from the inflictions, or afflictions, I think more like, is the like the bruises and scratch marks on her, the stuff I'm going to paint at the end. And I'm trying to imagine the mahogany. I think I might be able to get away with a really dark red, like a really, really dark red. That actually might work but good. I'm seeing it. Yeah, I am officially sold. I think I got most of it. I don't want it to be perfect because her hair is going to be very gross by the time I'm done with it. It is not going to look anything like this. I just want to make sure I get a good dark tone first. Alrighty, that's good enough. Good enough. So now I'm going to come in and do the skulls. Now, I really want to get painting my skeletons because I love painting bones almost as much as I love painting bruises and the cuts and stuff like that. Skeletons are so much fun. don't want to put too much on here. But this is a very light brown. So it takes a few passes. And I actually think I'm gonna come in with a white. Yeah. These need to pop out more. I want these things to really pop out. No, I'm definitely gonna go with that mahogany, because I have this dusk red, and it's just a very, very good color. But I also have this one, but this one's more brown. I'm thinking the dusk red, so that as soon as this dries, I'm gonna be putting this on there. And with it being so dark, I think it'll just add a red tinge to it, which will give us the effect we're wanting. And if not, then I can come back with this, what's called slaughter red. And this will act as a reddener. So that's if we get desperate. Actually, yeah. No, that's the darkest red I have. Yeah, if we get desperate, we'll come in with that one. But we're gonna start off with the dusk red. It's dry now. So I'm hoping this gives the effect we want of the mahogany. Oh. Definitely going to work just fine. And you're not gonna be able to see it like in the small strokes. It's gonna be more in like the broad. Much like raven hair looks blue, this is gonna look sort of a red. And I will even come through and highlight it later and give it another little brush of it as soon as it all dries, because that will make it to where as the sun hits, the light hits certain parts of it, it'll look more like that. But I'm gonna do the white on the skulls first. And hopefully, by the time I get done with that, the hair will be ready for it. But I am putting a lot of this red on there. So, it might take a second. Ooh, almost touched it. The amount of times I've accidentally touched the model to throw the paint all over the side of the model, like this brown over here, that is gone now. They'll get on my thumb because I paint my thumb, and then I touch the model, and the model has my thumb on there. Then I have to figure out how to explain it. Night, Shelby. Yeah, this was a really good idea. It's looking good. It's making it look sludgy. Sludgy almost. Alrighty. Go around that. I am coming back through with a white on these skulls, but I just want to leave them dry so that I can immediately paint, because I don't want to wait. That's one thing I don't like doing, is waiting with painting. I want to paint now. So I try to make myself not paint the things that's wet by liking other things. I used to, when I first started painting, I'd paint a couple parts and I'd be like, oh man, now I want to do the next layer. So I would go and stick it in a fan and I would stare at it, waiting for the paint to dry. Literally watching paint dry. And now, I just find something else to paint. No, yeah, that dark red's perfect. It's like a very rich red. Definitely a good idea. I didn't see it at first because I was thinking it would be like way lighter, but then as I thought about it more and more, it sounded better and better. Now it looks amazing. Alrighty, now we need the white. And I want to get most of the paint off. Where'd I put it? Oh, right there. Gotta get this water droplet off. I've straight up had a drop of water be on here, and I get my brush all perfect, and then I go to touch the model, and then I see that drop fall as I touch it, and just bleh, it just shoots paint all over my model. We now watch for droplets of paint. So, testing on my finger first. We're good. And I'm just trying to catch the little details. Maybe go up the head a little bit. Let's do some of that nose. And I'm trying to brush across it. You never want to like stab into it, because you might ruin some of the depth. That's wet right there. I've got to be careful. I think that looks pretty good. But I really want to get in there. But all right, that's as much as I dare push into that hole. We're not doing any more. I'm about 1/4 millimeter away from touching that and then painting my whole skull red. Need more paint. Okay. Gotta find the right angle, because I'm trying to drag it across it and just catch the raised edges. So much better. Definitely was necessary. It's a little much. I honestly am probably going to come back and do little black hairs draped across these skulls, so the fact that this one's brighter just means it's going to show up better through all that. Alrighty. Nope. What happened? Looks like my stream stopped. Oh, something popped up on my phone. Let's see. Gotta do my camera again real quick. So I have to reset my camera. Hold on. Wanting to work. That's awesome. Let's see. Maybe I have to deactivate it and then activate it again. Oh, you know what? My phone probably doesn't have it set up. That's probably what it was. Yep, that's what it was. Use as webcam. Alright, that should work now. Android webcam. Okay. Well, it's on. There we go. I had to deactivate it and activate it again. That was quite the adventure. But on the bright side, you can actually see now. Yeah, so this one it's a really rich, like, chocolate brown, basically. It's hard to tell in the light, but it's like a chocolate brown. It's almost like that faintest hint of red brown. But on the highlights in the top areas, I'm going to come through with a white, actually, right now. And I'm going to do some brief highlighting before coming back through with the red again. Actually, let's do a bigger brush, because I want to make sure those skulls are completely dry before I try to do anything more with them. Let's use this one. Actually, that brush is too blue. Okay, now I can actually do this with the white. So we're gonna come in just ever so lightly in the top areas, anywhere that's highlighted. I definitely think framing this recess a little bit would work. That's underneath, but it's fine because it'll frame that skull a little bit. This needs some highlighting. And I think this, since this is thinner, it might show up a little bit more. There we go. I might as well fix that right there. Let's do all of this, actually. Scratchy background on the TV, huh? I wonder what that is. Okay. That, I put a little too much there, but it's gonna be fine. Because now I'm gonna come in with the dusk red, and it should give us that perfect effect. I think it's right there. It is. Okay. Actually, I really want to do the skulls first. I gotta give myself a little skull action. There is the brush I want. It's the soft one. And this should provide an almost instant great skull effect. And it does. Oh, it's a little too high again. Oops. It's perfect. Let me make it a little brighter. Now, we're going to come in with that red. And it's going to tie it all together. And that's pretty much, I mean, a little bit of the ground right there I need. I can just slap that on real quick and then we can call it. Let's do that red. Dusk red. Where was my brush that I was using for that? It is quite perfect. Need a little bit more of that dark red. There we go. I think I got it. Got a couple spots I think I missed. Let's see. Oh. This can be a little bit more. I'm getting this crack. I gotta get in that crack as well. Dang, I used it all. Right there, but other than that, it's basically done. So we're going, well, done with step 1, which is getting her basic colors on. Some of that does dirt. I need a dirt color. Oh. The hair? Oh, of course. Of course. Well, it's a grainy camera. Swap back. There we go. I hate when it does that camera. For some reason, it swaps. I'm probably gonna come in and do even a lighter couple strands of red, but this is definitely a very good subtle red, like almost like Raven Hair's blue. This is red. So let's do the dirt real quick. I haven't used Satchel Brown yet. I'm probably not going to use it for anything else. So that's what we're going to use. Drop my brush. Alright. And thankfully, the ground is pretty easy. You just have to avoid touching anything else besides what you want to be dirt. And I don't know what I want to do with the base coat. Or not the base coat, the base itself. I don't know if I want to leave it a neutral color or if I want to. Man, this brush is too warped for that. Where's my detail? There we go. I might just use this one. Yeah. We're using this one now. I need to start grabbing this one more often because it works the best for everything that I've run into. I like how they did the layering because it's not completely covering everything. It's more just enough to give your imagination an idea of where that should be. And I do like that effect. I mean, that's half the fun. If I was just sitting here painting the model, it'd be no different than painting alone. So I have to interact. It's like the whole reason why I'm doing it. Alrighty. That is all done, so it looks like dirt. I need to come back through and do some dry brushing of it later to give it more depth. But that is the color it's going to be. No, Wes already took off, unfortunately. He headed off about an hour ago. But I'll let him know. Now I need some more brown real quick. I'm just going to clean up a couple things and then be good to go. And I'm going to save all the actual final detail work for tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, for Wednesday. Because Wednesday I'm going to come through and finish it. Because she is almost done. It does make it more fun. We'll put that in here. I need to do her face real quick because I keep forgetting to do it. No, there we go. That's a lot of paint. Alrighty. Had too much paint. This paint's almost dry. I can use that paint. Yeah, it's so hard to get her face. It's in a weird spot. I'm gonna have to draw her mouth on later. Oh my gosh. Struggling with this face. There we go. That was the trick. I'm lucky this paints are really watery, so it kind of made its own details. Which is very helpful. Yep, that works. I'm going to be doing some shadow later, so I'll be able to clean that up and get the cracks in there. Do her eyes. Yeah. It's pretty much there. That's all going to be fun, her back. Do something with the skulls real quick, but I don't know what else I want to do. I think I'm gonna do white. Give a couple of those last little edges. Smallest amount of white, and I keep hitting my mic thing and it dries. fast. There we go. Let's get some more and just be more careful. Do that little bar right there. I'm actually going to make that brighter just so I can come through and make this darker with a red strand. The scratchy noise from the music? I don't think the music is what's doing a scratchy noise. I can try to disable it. Alright, let me know if the, I guess the scratchy noise stops. And we'll know that that was the culprit. I'm just going to get the absolute tops now. And this is the last detail work I'll be doing. And I'm going to save the rest for next time. Kind of like her hair right here. Let's give it a little bit more attention to that. Perfect. I'm glad that it's fixed. All right, so now we do the final red tint. And I'm gonna do, let's do 3 drops of this. And then I'm going to do 1 drop of the Slaughter Red, because it is red. Stir it around a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's what I want. That is what I want. And we're going to do it a little around it as well, so that it blends in to the area. And I'm probably going to have to come back with a dusk red again, because it is very, very red. But that's fine. Ah! Drop my model. That's definitely really red, but it's gonna layer to be more close to what I was imagining later. And since this is such a contrasting red, I have to really make sure I get all the raised areas because it's so easy to see where I didn't catch it. Oh, you know what? It's actually drying a lot darker than I thought it would. I think it's actually going to be perfect. Yeah, I think that's going to actually end up perfect. Thank goodness. Less work. Yeah, I've never messed with mica powders. I have used baking soda to provide a detail surface, but other than that, I haven't really messed with anything else. That's where I got it. Same spot again. Let's clean that up real quick. Actually, yeah, let's clean it up. So I'm gonna need a gray. A gray bubble. Oh my goodness, give me paint. I don't like bubbles. And the white. Now the red looks really nice. I really liked how it turned out. Could probably use a little bit more highlighting in spots like right here, but I can actually do that here in a second because I will be using the paints to do so. And I love the magically disappearing paint when you use the gray. I could have sworn there was another spot that I missed. Apparently not, because I am not seeing it. There's a little fuzz on there. I don't see it. We'll just skip it for now. Come back at that white. We're gonna pat it on there to give that stone effect. Oh, too much paint. I gotta blend that in. There we go. It's gonna be hard to get it to that. Same, I'm gonna need the dark recesses too. I might have to just hit it with a little bit of a black. Let's try that. Where is the black? Oh, it's over here. Darken it up and then there we go. That is a bit better. I am finishing up the final details of the broad strokes and fixing my mistakes. And then I'm going to sleep. Man, this is just not looking like this side at all. I'm gonna have to come back and really give this attention later. But that'll be a tomorrow thing. That's done, this is done. That needs to be brown. Yeah, I'm just taking out the major differences real quick so that I don't have to worry about cleaning this all up tomorrow. I would rather just finalize everything. This brush is split. Oh my goodness. I can't use that brush. Need to stop reaching for other brushes and just go for my number 2. It's the only one that does what I need it to, it seems. All right, that's brown. Where is my brown? There we go. So that's brown. And I think that's, oh, I probably should hit the tops of this ground real quick. That's too much paint. Because I'm going to come back tomorrow with a tan. And that's going to give that ground a little bit more detail. And then I'm going to add wet gloss effects. This stone can get hit too. This edge is nice. I'm going to leave inside there alone. Alrighty. Alrighty, that's all done. Last thing is I'm going to add the little brown knob on, and then I'm calling it for today. Hopefully this is dry. We're about to find out. Wait, did I grab dark wood? Probably because it's so white. I was like, that is drying, looking quite peculiar. But that's gonna match that once it's fully dry. Alrighty, well I can't think of anything else I want to change quite yet. Or not change, but add to it. I'm going to be doing a lot of the detail work as far as the skulls, the hairs draping over the skulls. I'm going to be doing the actual wounds themselves, her toes, hands, getting all between the cracks of everything, and giving her skin like a 3 or 4 more colors to it. Doing purples, probably some reds. I got to stay away from this red, the dusk red with the slaughter red, because that'll take away from this. But other than that, got to do some moss work with the stone tomorrow to give it some more color range. It's just this, there's nothing going on back here. It's just very vacant. It's got to have some moss and growth. I have some plants I can probably stick in here as well and have them coming out. Not that it's full of anything, because, you know, that has to be empty, but they're going to be vines draping over the edge. I got some stuff that'll work perfectly. But yeah, that's it. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and if you got any ideas, let me know, and I'll incorporate them tomorrow. Have a good night.